You blocked out my past so gently that even the echoes of pain turned into whispers of love. You blocked out my past with patience, teaching me that love is not rushed. It's a slow miracle. You have completely blocked out my past, and in its absence, I found the courage to love you endlessly. You blocked out my past, like the ocean erases footprints, leaving only the beauty of now. Your love blocked out my past, replacing every regret with reasons to believe in forever. You blocked out my past, not by denying it, but by making the present so beautiful I can't look back. You blocked out my past so completely that my only truth now is the depth of your love. You have blocked out my past and lit up my present with the fire. You blocked out my past like sunlight, dissolving mist, soft yet unstoppable. Your embrace blocked out my past and gave me a heart that beats only for you. You blocked out my past with the kind of love that feels like destiny itself. You blocked out my past, and in doing so, taught me that love can be both healing and holy. You blocked out, like a guardian, fighting away every shadow that tried to steal my peace. You blocked out my past with whispers of hope, making even my silence feel sacred. You have blocked out my past and given me a reason to believe I was never truly broken. You blocked out my past like dawn blocks out the stars, quietly but completely. You blocked out my past, and now even my tears carry gratitude instead of sorrow. You blocked out my past with a love so eternal, it feels like the universe wrote us into existence. You blocked out my past like fire consuming the cold, warming every corner of my soul. You have blocked out my past and carved out a future where my heart can finally rest. You blocked out my past by letting the parts of me I thought no one could ever touch. You blocked out my past, and suddenly I understood what it meant to be reborn through love. You blocked out my past with hands that never let go and eyes that always believed. You blocked out my past like a melody that drowns out sorrow with sweetness. You blocked out my past by showing me that my scars were only maps leading me to you. You blocked out my past and proved that the strongest kind of love doesn't erase, it transforms. You blocked out my past, and in your love, I finally learned of myself. You blocked out my past like a lighthouse, guiding me away from the wreckage into safety. You blocked out my past, leaving me with nothing but the beauty of your presence. You blocked out my past, with arms wide enough to hold both my brokenness and my healing. You blocked out my past like spring blocks out the winter, filling me with new beginnings. You blocked out my past, reminding me that true love is not blind. It sees everything and loves harder. You blocked out my past with a devotion that feels like the language of angels. You blocked out my past so thoroughly that my only memory now is the way you love me. You blocked out my past with every kiss, writing over my history with eternity. You blocked out my past and taught me that love is the most powerful healer of all. You blocked out my past like a flame blocking out darkness, burning brighter with every heartbeat. You blocked out my past, turning my wounds into wisdom and my fear into faith. You blocked out my past with such devotion that even time itself feels rewritten. You blocked out my past and built a love story strong enough to silence every ghost. You blocked out my past with a love that didn't just accept me, it cherished me. You blocked out my past like rain washing away dust, leaving me cleansed and whole. You blocked out my past and became the chapter I never want to end. You blocked out my past, not with pity, but with a love that made me proud of survival. You blocked out my past like sunlight breaking through clouds, unyielding and pure. You blocked out my past and gave me a vision of a life worth fighting for. You blocked out my past with love so vast, it felt like God Himself whispered it into being. You blocked out my past and became the miracle my soul had prayed for in silence. You blocked out my past with every act of love, rewriting my heart's history in gold. You blocked out my past, teaching me that true love doesn't erase, it redeems. You blocked out my past like a sacred fire, burning away everything that wasn't love. You blocked out my past and showed me that love is not what happened, but what's possible. You blocked out my past with a touch that felt like eternity cradling my soul. You blocked out my past and proved that sometimes love itself is the redemption. You blocked out my past with such devotion that even my darkest memories dissolved in your light. You blocked out my past, not with force, but with a love so gentle it disarmed every pain. You blocked out my past and replaced fear with a hope that only grows stronger with each heartbeat. You blocked out my past like the sea erases footsteps, leaving only endless horizons of love. You blocked out my past, gifting me a tomorrow untouched by sorrow. You blocked out my past with eyes that see only who I am, not who I was. You blocked out my past, and with your love, even my scars of survival. You blocked out my past like a storm clearing the sky, revealing only radiant blue. You blocked out my past with whispers that turned silence into comfort. You blocked out my past, reminding me that real love doesn't judge, it redeems. You blocked out my past like fire, melting the cold, warming even the corners I hid. You blocked out my past, and suddenly my future feels like the safest place in the world. You blocked out my past, not by erasing it, but by making the present so beautiful. It outshines everything. You blocked out my past with every promise you kept, proving love can be trusted. You blocked out my past like spring erases winter, filling me with blooms of hope. You blocked out my past, and for the first time, my heart no longer feels like a battlefield. You blocked out my past with patience, teaching me that healing comes from love, not time alone. You blocked out my past, and I finally believe in second chances, written in the language of love. You blocked out my past with such certainty, even my doubts bowed in silence. You blocked out my past like dawn overtaking the night, slow yet unstoppable. You blocked out my past with arms strong enough to hold both my pain and my joy. You blocked out my past and gave me a story where every chapter begins with us. You blocked out my past, replacing loneliness with belonging that feels eternal. You blocked out my past like sunlight, filling an abandoned room, turning shadows into beauty. You blocked out my past with a love so steady, even time surrendered to it. You blocked out my past, reminding me that my history is not my destiny. You blocked out my past like a song so sweet, it silenced every sorrowful echo. You blocked out my past with devotion that felt like the hand of heaven itself. You blocked out my past, showing me that forgiveness can feel like love's greatest miracle. You blocked out my past like rain washing away ash, leaving the ground fertile again. You blocked out my past and became the one chapter I never want to end. You blocked out my past with kindness so fierce it became my shield against despair. You blocked out my past, turning every wound into a reminder of how far love can carry me. You blocked out my past with every glance that told me I was more than my mistakes. You blocked out my past like the ocean swallowing the night, vast and unending. You blocked out my past, giving me peace where chaos once lived. You blocked out my past with a heart so pure, even my demons couldn't resist surrendering. You blocked out my past, showing me that love's true power is in rewriting the story. You blocked out my past like a candle glowing so bright, darkness lost its hold. You blocked out my past and turned silence into sacred rest. You blocked out my past with compassion that felt like a homecoming. You blocked out my past, giving me the strength to believe I deserve happiness. You blocked out my past like dawn erasing shadows, steady and sure. You blocked out my past, and with you, I see tomorrow as a promise instead of a threat. You blocked out my past, proving that love is greater than any scar it touches. You blocked out my past like sunlight breaking into a prison, setting me free. You blocked out my past, and in your love, I finally found my redemption. You blocked out my past, whispering that I was never too broken to be loved. You blocked out my past like the tide carrying away the wreckage, leaving space for new beginnings. You blocked out my past with a love that feels like eternity stitched into my soul. You blocked out my past, turning bitterness into a garden of grace. You blocked out my past like the wind carrying away ashes, leaving me lighter. You blocked out my past, proving that healing happens in the arms of love. You blocked out my past, making even my silence feel full of love's presence. You blocked out my past like the stars fading at sunrise, leaving only brilliance. You blocked out my past and gave me the courage to dream without fear. You blocked out my past, showing me that love's greatest gift is freedom. You blocked out my past like rain softening the hardest soil, making growth possible. You blocked out my past, and suddenly, even my tears turned into gratitude. You have completely blocked out my past, and now every piece of my soul only remembers the warmth of your love. With you, my scars no longer scream. You've blocked out my past and replaced it with a love worth living for. You didn't just love me. You erased my shadows, blocking out my past, and built me a new home in your heart. You have completely blocked out my past, teaching me that love can be both forgiveness and freedom at once. My pain used to be louder than hope, but you blocked out my past and made hope the only song I hear. You turned the pages of my story, blocked out my past, and wrote a new chapter filled only with tenderness. With every embrace, you block out my past until even my deepest regrets feel like they never existed. You've completely blocked out my past, as if your love painted over every scar with strokes of eternity. What once haunted me no longer exists because your love has blocked out my past and given me peace. You are not just my lover, you are the shield that blocked out my past and gave me a future. You blocked out my past not by ignoring it, but by loving me so deeply it lost all its power. Every time you hold me, you erase a little more pain, blocking out my past with your healing presence. My memories used to break me, but you blocked out my past and turned my wounds into wisdom. You blocked out my past so gently that I didn't even notice my demons leaving until you kissed me. I never thought love could be a sanctuary, but you blocked out my past and made me believe again. Your love has been louder than my regrets, stronger than my fears, and bold enough to block out my past. You don't just love me, you protect me from myself, blocking out my past with your endless devotion. Every smile of yours builds a wall around me, blocking out my past and sheltering me in your love. You have completely blocked out my past, leaving me with only one truth. I was made to love you. In your arms, my nightmares dissolve because you blocked out my past and gifted me your forever. You blocked out my past, not with words, but with a love so fierce it erased my pain. I thought my past defined me, but your love walked it out and showed me who I could be. You have completely blocked out my past, and in that silence, I discovered the music of your heart. You blocked out my past, and now every moment feels like we're building a future. No pain can touch. Your love didn't just heal me. It blocked out my past and gave me a brand new soul. You blocked out my past like the sun blocking out the night, flooding my world with light. I used to carry chains of regret, but your love broke them, blocking out my past forever. You blocked out my past and replaced my fear with the comfort of knowing I'll never face life alone. You are the whisper that calms my storms, the love that blocked out my past and rebuilt me. You blocked out my past, making space for me to finally believe in the beauty of tomorrow. Your presence has blocked out my past, turning every scar into a reminder of how deeply I'm loved. You blocked out my past, like dawn silences the darkness, quietly, but completely. You have completely blocked out my past, and now my future only shines with the reflection of your eyes. You didn't just erase my past. You blocked it out by writing a love story so powerful it overshadows it all. With you, my yesterdays no longer matter, because you blocked out my past with a love eternal. You blocked out my past by filling me with so much love. There's no room left for sorrow. You blocked out my past, and for the first time, I feel like I belong somewhere, inside your heart. Your love is the silence that blocked out the noise of my past and gave me peace. You have completely blocked out my past, and now every heartbeat spells only one name. You blocked out my past by showing me that real love doesn't judge, it heals. I thought I was unlovable, but you blocked out my past and showed me I was always enough. You blocked out my past by turning every broken piece of me into a mosaic of love. Your arms blocked out my past, and for the first time, I can rest without fear. You blocked out my past not with promises, but with a love that never lets go. You blocked out my past, painting my sky with colors brighter than I ever dreamed. With every kiss, you blocked out my past until my only memory is how it feels to be loved. You blocked out my past and built a future so luminous, my shadows dared not return. You blocked out my past like a shield, protecting me with the strength of your devotion. You have completely blocked out my past, and now I see love as the greatest miracle. You blocked out my past, and with every heartbeat, you've given me the courage to love again. You blocked out my past with kindness so fierce, it felt like divine intervention. Your love has blocked out my past, turning every tear into proof of how far I've come.